Krishnamurti's view on thought, a double-edged sword. Jiddu Krishnamurti, a renowned philosopher and spiritual teacher, offers a deep analysis of the role of thought in human life. He describes thought as both a powerful tool and a limiting force, depending on how it is used and the extent to which it dominates our existence. His perspective urges us to reconsider the role of thought in shaping our emotional and psychological well-being. Krishnamurti acknowledges that thought is essential for practical purposes. It is through thought that we navigate the physical world, solve problems, and engage in tasks that require logic and analysis. Whether it's planning, inventing, or organizing, thought allows us to bring ideas into reality. In this sense, thought is a valuable tool that has helped humanity build civilizations, make scientific advancements, and improve daily life. For instance, thought helps us plan our day, resolve conflicts, and work toward achieving our goals. It is particularly effective when dealing with material or external challenges, where logical processes and reasoned solutions are required. Thought in this context is rational, structured, and purposeful, an indispensable part of our lives. However, Krishnamurti argues that thought becomes problematic when it extends beyond its practical domain and begins to dominate our emotional and psychological lives. In his view, thought, which is based on memory and past experiences, cannot fully grasp the present moment. It tends to fragment reality by projecting past fears, desires, and judgments onto new experiences, limiting our ability to see things clearly. For example, in emotional matters, thought often operates by categorizing feelings or relationships based on past experiences. This can create a cycle of repetitive patterns, where we react to situations not as they are, but as we remember or expect them to be. Thought, in this way, prevents us from experiencing life with a fresh, open perspective. Krishnamurti highlights that much of the psychological conflict we experience arises from the domination of thought. When we overthink, we create internal divisions between what is and what should be. This constant comparison, judgment, and evaluation traps us in a cycle of fear, insecurity, and discontent. Thought, in its habitual form, thrives on creating problems and then attempting to solve them, but in doing so, it often exacerbates the issues it seeks to resolve. For instance, when we feel insecure, thought begins to search for ways to eliminate that insecurity, often by seeking external validation or control. But this very effort to escape insecurity strengthens it, as the mind remains caught in its own patterns. Krishnamurti suggests that only by observing thought without interference can we break free from these psychological entanglements. Krishnamurti's teachings emphasize the importance of awareness and attention, allowing us to observe thought without becoming entangled in it. He suggests that there is a state of mind beyond thought, a state of pure observation where we are fully present and can engage with life without the filters of past conditioning. This is where true freedom lies, free from the limitations of thought and the conflicts it creates. In summary, Krishnamurti views thought as a double-edged sword. It is essential for practical living, but when it overreaches into our emotional and psychological realms, it can lead to fragmentation, conflict, and a loss of direct experience. By becoming aware of thought's limitations, we can begin to transcend its hold on us and experience life more fully, with clarity and openness. Reflecting on Krishnamurti's analysis, we are encouraged to recognize the role of thought in our lives, both as a tool and as a potential obstacle. The challenge lies in using thought appropriately, while also cultivating the awareness to step beyond its confines when necessary. The nature of thought, products of the past and obstacles to experiencing the present. Our minds are constantly filled with thoughts, yet we often fail to realize that these thoughts are largely shaped by the past. Jiddu Krishnamurti, along with many other philosophers and thinkers, points out that our thoughts are the products of our memories, past experiences, and the knowledge we've accumulated over time. While thought plays an essential role in helping us navigate the world, it can also become a barrier that prevents us from fully experiencing the present moment. Every thought we have is rooted in something that has already happened. When we think, we often draw on memories, learned information, or past experiences to make sense of the world around us. Even when we project into the future, our mind uses past knowledge to predict or imagine what might come next. For example, consider a person planning a vacation. They base their future plans on past experiences of travel, recalling what they liked or didn't like. This illustrates how thought is fundamentally tied to memory. What we remember is what shapes our ideas about the future. Thought is, therefore, not a neutral or fresh process, it is always a reinterpretation of the past. Krishnamurti emphasizes that because thought is based on memory, it is always old. Our thinking processes, no matter how innovative they might seem, are limited by our past experiences and the conditioning we've undergone. As a result, our thoughts can't fully comprehend the present moment as it unfolds because they are always filtered through this lens of the past. When we rely heavily on thought to navigate life, we often lose touch with the present moment. This happens because thought tends to create a mental framework that distances us from the immediacy of what is happening right now. Instead of being fully present, we get caught in cycles of thinking, whether it's worrying about the future, regretting the past, or simply interpreting the present through preconceived ideas. For example, if someone is walking through a park but is thinking about an argument they had the day before, they are not fully experiencing the sights, sounds, and sensations of the park in that moment. Their mind is occupied with the past, and as a result, the richness of the present is missed. This mental chatter can also create anxiety or dissatisfaction. Thoughts about what should happen or what should have happened prevent us from accepting things as they are, right now. This lack of presence can lead to a constant state of unease, as the mind continuously compares the present with the past or some imagined future. Krishnamurti, along with other spiritual teachers, encourages us to observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. This active observation helps create a space where we can see the distinction between thought and reality. In this space, we can experience the present moment more fully, without the interference of past conditioning. To experience life in the present, Krishnamurti suggests cultivating awareness and mindfulness. When we become aware of our thoughts without identifying with them, we allow ourselves to live more freely, responding to life as it unfolds instead of reacting through the filter of our past. For example, instead of thinking, "I've been disappointed in the past, so this will likely disappoint me too," mindfulness allows us to approach each moment with fresh eyes. It enables us to engage with what is rather than what we expect or fear based on past experiences. Thought-based living is like trying to look at the world through a fogged window. When your window, your mind, is covered in fog, thoughts, everything outside appears blurry and unclear. You may catch glimpses of what's happening, but the fog distorts your view. The more you focus on the thoughts, the more you become trapped in the fog, unable to see reality as it is. On the other hand, when you live in the present moment, your mind becomes like a clear window pane. Through this clear glass, you can see everything outside with sharpness and clarity. There's nothing between you and the world, and you can engage fully with what's happening around you. The present moment, in this metaphor, is experienced without any filters or obstructions. Thought-based living can feel like being entangled in a knot. Imagine trying to unravel a ball of tightly knotted string. It takes effort, and the more you pull at it, the tighter the knot becomes. When we live through thought, our minds become similarly tangled. We get caught in a web of fears, memories, and mental projections, trying to solve problems created by thought itself. This knot can feel restrictive, confining, and frustrating. Now picture a ribbon that flows freely in the wind. When you're fully present, your mind is like this ribbon, fluid, free, and unhindered by mental complications. You're able to move with life's moments, responding naturally and openly, rather than being stuck in the knots of thought. The experience of living fully in the present is one of ease and liberation. These visual metaphors, clouded sky versus clear sky, rushing river versus still lake, fogged window versus clear pane, and tangled knot versus free-flowing ribbon, offer a powerful way to understand the difference between living through thought and being present. Thought, when allowed to dominate, clouds our perception and keeps us from experiencing life as it truly is. Breaking free from the dominance of thought does not mean rejecting thought altogether. Instead, it's about recognizing its limitations and not allowing it to rule our entire perception of life. When we understand that thoughts are mere reflections of the past, we can begin to detach from them and be more present. This doesn't mean we abandon practical thinking when necessary. Thought is still useful for planning, solving problems, and understanding the world around us. However, by acknowledging that thought is just one part of our experience, and one that is tied to the past, we can free ourselves to live more fully in the present moment. In conclusion, thought is a powerful tool, but it is also a product of the past, which limits its ability to engage with the present. By recognizing this and learning to observe our thoughts without becoming attached to them, we open up the possibility of experiencing life in its fullest form, unfiltered by past memories and expectations. This shift from living through thought to living in the present moment is key to achieving a deeper sense of peace and clarity in our everyday lives. The contrast between thought-based living and being fully present. Visual metaphors to illustrate the difference. Our minds often become clouded by the constant stream of thoughts, which are typically tied to the past or the future. These thoughts prevent us from truly experiencing the present moment. Jiddu Krishnamurti and other spiritual thinkers have emphasized the importance of living in the now, rather than being controlled by thought. To illustrate this concept, we can use visual metaphors that help us understand the difference between living through thought and being fully present in each moment. Imagine your mind as a vast sky. When you are living through thought, it's as though clouds are constantly moving across the sky, blocking the sun and your view of the blue expanse above. These clouds represent your thoughts, worries, memories, and projections about the future. You might still catch glimpses of the sun, the present moment, but the clouds, your thoughts, obscure its full radiance. In this state, your perception of life is limited, as you are seeing everything through the filter of these clouds. Now, envision what happens when the clouds part and the sky is clear. The sun shines brilliantly, and you can see the entire sky in all its vastness and beauty. This is what it feels like to be fully present. Without the constant stream of thoughts, your mind is open, expansive, and fully engaged with the moment. The clarity of the present moment becomes as vivid and unobstructed as a cloudless sky. Another visual metaphor that captures this difference is the comparison between a rushing river and a still lake. When you are caught in thought, your mind can feel like a river, constantly flowing with ideas, worries, and plans. This river never stops, it's always moving, sometimes at a chaotic pace, carrying you along with it. You may struggle to find calmness or clarity because you are swept up in the current of thought. In contrast, being fully present is like standing beside a still, calm lake. The water is undisturbed, and in its stillness, it perfectly reflects the sky, the trees, and the mountains around it. This stillness allows you to see clearly, to notice things you would miss in the chaos of the river. When your mind is like this calm lake, you are fully present, aware of the beauty and richness of each moment, without the disturbance of rushing thoughts. But when we learn to quiet our minds and let go of unnecessary thoughts, we can experience the world with greater clarity, freedom, and depth. By recognizing when we are caught in thought and gently bringing our attention back to the present, we can live with more awareness and truly appreciate the beauty of each moment. Jiddu Krishnamurti, a profound philosopher and spiritual teacher, emphasized the transformative power of living fully in the present moment. His teachings revolve around the notion that the past and future are illusions that often trap us in cycles of regret, fear, and anxiety. By understanding and embracing the present, Krishnamurti argued, we can unlock true freedom and clarity of mind. Krishnamurti believed that most of our mental and emotional suffering stems from our attachment to past experiences and our constant anticipation of the future. These attachments create a sense of psychological time, which distracts us from the reality of the now. Whether we are dwelling on past regrets or anxiously anticipating future events, we are removed from the present moment, where life is actually unfolding. Living in the present, according to Krishnamurti, requires a radical shift in awareness. It means observing the mind's habitual tendencies to wander and reframing our thoughts to focus on what is happening here and now. This doesn't mean ignoring the past or neglecting the future, but rather realizing that they don't exist outside of our thoughts. What is real and alive is the present moment, and only by fully engaging with it can we experience life as it truly is. One of the key aspects of Krishnamurti's teaching on living in the present is the idea of choiceless awareness, a state in which we observe life without judgment, analysis, or resistance. In this state, we are not trying to impose preconceived ideas or expectations on reality. Instead, we are fully immersed in the experience of the present moment, allowing us to respond to life with clarity and wisdom rather than reacting based on past conditioning. By living in the present, Krishnamurti suggested, we free ourselves from the psychological burdens that weigh us down. The mind becomes clear, creative, and capable of perceiving life with fresh eyes. This state of presence opens the door to deeper connections with others, a more profound understanding of ourselves, and an enriched experience of life itself. In essence, the power of living in the present, as Krishnamurti taught, is about liberation. It's about breaking free from the mental traps of time, discovering the richness of each moment, and awakening to the reality that true peace and freedom can only be found in the here and now. Achieving awareness and being fully present in our lives can significantly enhance our mental well-being and overall quality of life. While it may sound simple, the practice of presence requires conscious effort and commitment. Here are some practical ways to cultivate awareness and embrace the present moment. Mindfulness meditation is one of the most effective ways to develop awareness. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Allow your thoughts to come and go without judgment. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This practice helps train your mind to be present and fosters a sense of calm. One of the simplest ways to cultivate awareness is to observe your thoughts without judgment. Take a moment throughout the day to pause and notice what's going through your mind. Acknowledge your thoughts as they arise, but refrain from labeling them as good or bad. This non-judgmental observation helps create distance from your thoughts, allowing you to respond to them rather than react impulsively. When interacting with others, practice active listening. Focus fully on the person speaking, making a conscious effort to understand their perspective without formulating your response while they talk. This practice fosters deeper connections and helps you remain present in the conversation. Engage your senses to ground yourself in the present moment. Take a few moments to notice what you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. For example, when eating, savor each bite and notice the flavors and textures. This sensory engagement helps anchor your awareness in the here and now. Walking can be a meditative practice if done mindfully. Instead of rushing to your destination, take a leisurely walk and pay attention to the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breath, and the environment around you. Notice the ground beneath your feet and the sounds of nature or the city. This practice helps cultivate presence while also promoting physical well-being. In our technology-driven world, distractions are everywhere. Make a conscious effort to limit distractions when possible. Turn off notifications, set aside your phone during meals, and create technology-free zones in your home. By reducing distractions, you create space for greater awareness and presence. Cultivating a gratitude practice can also enhance your sense of presence. Take time each day to reflect on what you are thankful for, whether it's the beauty of nature, a kind gesture from a friend, or simply the gift of a new day. This practice helps you appreciate the present moment and fosters a positive mindset. Journaling can be a powerful tool for self-reflection and awareness. Spend a few minutes each day writing about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This practice encourages introspection and helps you clarify your mind, allowing you to connect more deeply with the present moment. Cultivating awareness and living fully in the present moment is a journey that requires patience and practice. By incorporating these practical techniques into your daily routine, you can foster a deeper sense of presence, enhancing your overall well-being and enriching your experiences. Remember that the present moment is where life unfolds, and embracing it can lead to profound transformation. Practicing awareness in everyday activities, awareness, often synonymous with mindfulness, is about being fully present and engaged in whatever activity you're doing. It allows us to step out of autopilot and experience life more fully. Here are some examples of how simple, everyday activities can become powerful practices of awareness. Walking is something most of us do every day, but how often are we truly aware of it? Instead of rushing from one place to another, try walking mindfully. Pay attention to the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your steps, and the movement of your body. Notice the sounds around you, the feeling of the air, or the warmth of the sun. Every step becomes an opportunity to anchor yourself in the present moment. Eating can be transformed into a mindfulness practice simply by focusing on the act itself. Before you take a bite, observe your food, its colors, textures, and aroma. As you eat, slow down and savor each bite. Notice the flavors, the sensations as you chew, and the process of swallowing. When you eat mindfully, not only do you enjoy your food more, but you also develop a deeper appreciation for the nourishment it provides. Breathing is automatic, but it's also a powerful tool for cultivating awareness. A simple exercise is to focus on your breath for a few moments during your day. Inhale deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs, and exhale slowly, releasing any tension. Try to follow the natural rhythm of your breath without trying to change it. Even a minute of mindful breathing can create a sense of calm and bring your attention back to the present. Even mundane tasks like washing dishes or folding laundry can become opportunities for awareness. Instead of rushing through chores, try focusing on the task at hand. Feel the warmth of the water, the texture of the fabric, or the movement of your hands. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the sensations of the task. These small moments of awareness can turn routine tasks into calming rituals. Taking a few minutes each day to sit in silence can help you connect with yourself. Find a quiet spot. Close your eyes, and simply observe your thoughts without judgment. Notice how your mind moves from one thought to another, but instead of getting caught up in them, let them pass like clouds. This simple exercise helps you develop awareness of your mental state and emotions, fostering greater inner peace. By incorporating awareness into daily activities like walking, eating, breathing, and even chores, you can cultivate a deeper sense of presence and mindfulness. These moments of awareness allow you to reconnect with yourself, reduce stress, and find joy in the simplicity of life. Freedom from the known. Krishnamurti's call for liberation. Jiddu Krishnamurti, a profound thinker and spiritual teacher, urges us to break free from the limitations of the known, the beliefs, traditions, and societal expectations that shape our lives. According to Krishnamurti, true freedom lies in transcending these mental and emotional boundaries, allowing us to live authentically and fully in the present moment. Krishnamurti challenges the authority of tradition, suggesting that it binds us to patterns of thought and behavior that limit our personal growth. Tradition, whether cultural, religious, or familial, often dictates how we should think and act. By questioning these inherited norms, Krishnamurti invites us to explore life with fresh eyes, unburdened by the past. He believed that clinging to tradition stifles creativity and self-discovery, as we end up living according to outdated principles rather than responding freely to the world around us. Society shapes our sense of identity from a young age, setting standards for success, behavior, and morality. Krishnamurti viewed these societal expectations as traps that hinder genuine freedom. We often conform to the roles society imposes on us, whether as professionals, parents, or citizens, without questioning whether these roles align with our true selves. Krishnamurti argues that true liberation comes when we break free from these conditioned roles and live in accordance with our own inner truth. Free from external pressure. Perhaps most provocatively, Krishnamurti calls for freedom from personal beliefs. He saw our attachment to beliefs as a form of psychological conditioning that blinds us to reality. Whether it's a belief in religion, politics, or our own self-image, Krishnamurti believed that clinging to any belief creates division and conflict, both within ourselves and with others. By letting go of rigid beliefs, we open ourselves to direct experience, living in the present rather than through preconceived notions or judgments. For Krishnamurti, freedom is not just an external state but an inner revolution, a complete transformation of the mind. This revolution comes not through following another's path or adopting a set of principles, but by observing and understanding our own thoughts and conditioning. He encouraged self-inquiry and meditation as ways to cultivate awareness of how our minds are shaped by the known. Only by becoming aware of this conditioning can we transcend it and experience true freedom. Krishnamurti's vision of freedom is radical because it requires a deep sense of self-awareness and courage. It means questioning everything we take for granted, from our relationships to our values. It means living without fear of judgment or failure, because these fears are rooted in the very conditioning we seek to escape. Krishnamurti believed that when we free ourselves from the known, we become fully alive, able to perceive the world as it truly is, without distortion. Krishnamurti's call for freedom from the known is an invitation to step beyond the boundaries of tradition, societal expectations, and personal beliefs. It is a journey toward self-liberation, where the mind is no longer confined by the past or future, but is fully present, open, and free. By embracing this freedom, we can live with greater authenticity, creativity, and awareness, unshackled from the limitations of the known world. The power of breaking free from conditioned beliefs. Breaking away from conditioned beliefs is a profound step toward internal transformation. Conditioned beliefs, those ingrained by society, upbringing, culture, or past experiences, shape how we perceive ourselves and the world. They often limit our ability to think freely, keeping us trapped in mental patterns that create conflict, both within and with others. True freedom, as envisioned by thinkers like Jiddu Krishnamurti, comes from shedding these beliefs and entering a state of pure awareness, where there is no inner conflict. From childhood, we are conditioned to adopt certain beliefs and values. These can be ideas about success, relationships, religion, or morality. While these beliefs may provide structure and security, they also confine our thoughts, preventing us from seeing beyond the framework we've been taught. Conditioned beliefs are often unconscious, meaning we follow them automatically, without questioning their validity. One of the main sources of internal conflict arises from the clash between who we are and who we think we should be. Based on these conditioned beliefs, when our desires, emotions, or authentic self don't align with societal or personal expectations, we experience tension. For example, striving to meet societal standards of success, even when they don't resonate with our personal values, can create ongoing dissatisfaction. This inner turmoil is the product of living a life dictated by conditioned thinking, rather than from a place of true understanding. The process of breaking free from conditioned beliefs starts with awareness. By observing our thoughts, we can begin to see how deeply conditioned they are. This requires questioning long-held assumptions. Why do I believe this? Where did this belief come from? Does it serve me? Once we begin this inquiry, we can start to dismantle the barriers that limit us. Letting go of conditioned beliefs doesn't mean rejecting all beliefs, but rather recognizing their impermanence and their role in shaping our mental and emotional patterns. In this way, we free ourselves from living on autopilot and become more open to the present moment.